Hello everyone, Tim here. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing Tarot Tuesday, and today and the next two videos, actually, so 3 videos total, I think, we'll be looking at the court cards. I've gone through the first the first section that we're doing, and the court cards are a little confusing, so that's why I am choosing to spend some time with them. So I'm just going to pull them out here so we have them to refer to. So we have in this Rider-Waite-Smith traditional deck, I guess you could call it. What is it called technically? I think it's a centennial. Yeah, the Smith-Waite Centennial Tarot Deck, based upon the original and only authorized edition of the famous 78-card Rider-Waite Tarot Deck. So I'm guessing centennial means it came out like at the 100th anniversary of the tarot deck. And I forgot what I was going to say. What the court cards are called: Page, Knight, Queen, and King. So that's that. That's what they're called in this deck. In other decks, they could be called, other things. And just as a general overview, the king would be the patriarchal, older, wiser. The queen would be the matriarchal, again, older, wiser. A knight would be a young, I'd say a young adult, young to middle age, I would say. And then the page is definitely young, innocent, kind of like the fool. So that's what we have here. Okay, so I'm going to do some reading from this book, Tarot for Yourself. It's the 35th anniversary edition, and it's a workbook for the inward journey by Mary K. Greer. So it's just something that I decided to do. And then I decided that I would be better at sticking to it if I committed to doing it every week on my channel. It just helps keep me honest, and I know there's only a couple people that are actually following along, and I'm totally fine with that, because like the book says, I am doing this, tarot for yourself. So this is chapter 5 of the book. That's where we are, and it's the court card personalities. And it says, when a court card appears in a reading, they usually operate in 2 ways simultaneously. First, a court card always represents you. That is the person for whom the reading is being done. And second, it may represent someone you know, especially someone on whom you've projected part of your personality. To deal with the second option first, court cards often represent someone you know. For instance, a king or queen can be your father or mother, or someone in authority or to whom you look to for direction. Kings and queens are usually mature and able to give advice. They influence the situation in a way described by their position in the spread. Knights are often young men who introduce a spurt of new energy into your life. They invite, entice, encourage, and pull you along with their interests. Um, doesn't say anything about the page here. That's weird. Doesn't say anything about the page. I didn't notice that when I was first doing the reading. Well, it does say, I didn't highlight this part because it talks about different decks and what they're called. Um, so the page is called the Princess in some decks, and it is a young woman or girl child with sensitivity and daring, and the ability to take risks and explore new possibilities without fear. So that's interesting. Okay. So, as mentioned earlier, court cards almost always represent aspects of yourself in the reading. They represent the way you are acting in the situation, those aspects of your identity that you are drawing upon, or the mask you put on in any particular circumstance. For instance, do you feel mature and capable with everything under control? That is kingly. Or are you sensitive and receptive to the needs of others, seeking to satisfy those needs and the best of your ability in a queenly sort of way? Are you an energetic and daring knight acting on your desires? Or are you perhaps a page, new at something, naive and open to learning as much as possible? Jungian psychology provides a framework for integrating both points of view, the court card as yourself and as another person. The concept called projection refers to projecting or thrusting inner qualities of yourself onto other people. Sorry, onto other people around you, whether or not they have these qualities. It works like this: you notice in other people some of the characteristics that you do not recognize in yourself, both positive and negative. As a result, you tend to let those people act out your own unconscious perceptions of yourself and your own inner situations, or you get angry with them when they don't. Through the appearance of court cards in a spread, you can see what power and abilities you might be giving away. Once you release others from these projections, you release them to be who they really are. You are also free to carry out your own ambitions and desires. Another form of projection is associated with the shadow self, those negative inner qualities that we try to disown. Note the actions that annoy you in other people. Have you ever acted likewise or wanted to, but left it to others? A reading containing several court cards often refers to your interpersonal relationships and the many different roles you have to play. Sometimes a fragmentation of your energies is indicated by all these different personalities and aspects you are expressing. Okay, so then there is a exercise, and it says identify 5 to 10 roles that you regularly play and choose a court card that best represents you in each role. You may use cards more than once, or you may need more than one card to represent a particular role. Okay, so I just did this really quickly, and I couldn't come up with 10, but I came up with 5. So current roles in my life: mother, wife, artist, mediator, friend. And for the corresponding court card, so for mother, I chose Queen of Cups. Um, and this is without looking up the meaning of the cards. This is just my gut intuition. And because cups is associated with water and emotions, and I just think that's my mother role with my children. And the same with wife. It's the same thing. So I have wife, also Queen of Cups. As an artist, I think of Queen of Pentacles. I think of Pentacles as creative, creating, making. Um, it's also associated with money, but I don't, as an artist, I mean, for a while I made some money from my art, but I'm not doing that anymore. But I just always think of Queen of Pentacles. And then as a mediator, I did put King of Wands, um, because sometimes I have to say the hard things to either my kids or my husband, either about each other or, in my husband's case, the kids, but also um, his mom. Um, we're going through a lot of stuff with her. Her husband passed away about 3 weeks ago, and that's a whole nother dynamic. Their relationship, his mom and his mom's husband. Um, yeah, it's just all, it's very crazy. And so I think of King of Wands. I just think, to me, in the tarot deck, the King of Wands would probably be the overseer of all of the kings. Um, and I just think of him as a wise, fair, just, um, though also fiery and passionate, and standing up for things. And so that's why I chose King of Wands. And as a friend, I feel like I have many. Um, I could have many of the court cards. I did not write any down, um, because I have four really super super good friends that I've known for 40 plus years. Um, we went to high school together, and um, yeah, it's just really hard to pick one court card. It depends on the situation too. Like I am with my friends, like, are we just out having a lighthearted fun time? Then I might be a page or a knight. It just depends. So I didn't write anything down for that. And then it says choose court cards to represent the most important people in your life in that aspect you most frequently encounter them. So my daughter, definitely a page. She's the youngest of all of us, and um, she's still, willing to try new things, and you know, um, yeah, it's just page. And I didn't pick one suit. If I had to, right at this moment, it would either be Page of Cups or Page of Wands. Maybe both. Maybe I could pick both for her, because she is fiery, but she's also very emotional. Um, my son, I picked Knight for him. Um, I would say Knight of Pentacles. I didn't put one down, but just talking about this and talking about him, I would say, because he is creative, um, he's an animator, so that's what he does for work, is creating and making money that way. And yeah, and then my husband, I put him King of Pentacles. Um, just because he's very focused on material things, and money is very, very, very important to him. Um, my friends are, again, it's one of those things where, it depends what our needs are. We all take different roles with the five of us, and it just depends. It depends on where we are. And then I put my mother in law down, and I put her down as Queen of Swords. Um, that was just the first thing, knee jerk, that came to me, and I'm not sure why. Um, so then to kind of wrap up this session with the court cards, it says, remember that each of these people has several roles to play and can therefore appear in a spread represented by court cards other than the ones you selected here. In your daily 3-card readings, watch for the various ways in which you and the people close to you usually appear. So that's that. So if you have the book, I would strongly recommend that you do this, this little exercise here. And then next week, we're really going to dig into the cards and the court card party. And we'll look at them and imagine they are people at a party and I feel attracted to, I would like to avoid. So we'll do that next week. We'll do these 2 pages. I think maybe get to here. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, that is what I have for today. I hope that you have a great rest of your day and that you remember to be good to yourself and be kind to each other. And don't forget, Carol and I have our hashtag Let's Make Together 2025, where we are altering a composition book. And that starts on Thursday, the 15th of May. And I'm very excited about that. So I will see you then. Have a great day. Bye.